I'm Ashley Haas, and you're watching Ashley Against All Odds. No Thursday Night Football this week, so you didn't see me until now when we have to talk about the Sunday matchups, 2 Monday games, and that 1 Tuesday game for the Ravens. And the Buccaneers and the Panthers both have a bye week, so let's predict some football, baby. Let's start this week off with one of my favorite matchups. It's a division rivalry for first place. Now, currently the Titans hold the lead at 8-3, but the Browns also have 8-3. They're just slightly behind the Titans. This game is do or die for both of these teams. I love it. Love a good division rivalry. I can't wait to see what Chubb does and what Derrick Henry does. In this situation, I don't really think the quarterbacks are the stars, believe it or not. It's always Derrick Henry, the king, and Nick Chubb, who is just epic. Call me crazy, but I think that the Browns have enough weapons to keep this to a 3-point game. And with Myles Garrett coming back, we've got Myles Garrett, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt. I mean, yes, okay, the Titans have Derrick Henry, but I think that this team has enough to take on this Tennessee Titan team at home and keep it close. I don't know if they're gonna win, but I would take them for 5.5 points. So Browns plus 5.5 for me. Poor Jets have yet to get a win yet. They are home and Sam Darnold is back, but I do not think Sam Darnold coming back is actually going to help the Jets at all. In fact, I weirdly really like Flacco. I know that Darnold's supposed to be their star. I just don't see it. Just never know what Raider team is actually going to show up. I have to hope that they are going to beat the Jets. If they do not, then this team has done a complete 180 and spiraled. So Josh Jacobs is not going to be playing for the Raiders. He's still out due to an ankle injury. And we need to also talk about the fact that Derek Carr does not play well in cold weather. He's actually 3-11 in under 50-degree weather. It's gonna be cold this week in New York, so this is not a good sign for Derek Carr. Only promising thing is he's playing the New York Jets. And I just have zero faith in Sam Darnold right now. He threw 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and he only completed 59.2% of his passes. Not good. Spread him. So not excited for this next matchup. The Philadelphia Eagles are gonna be traveling to Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and it is the Green Bay Packers. I don't care how much this Philadelphia Eagles team says that we are going to be better and we're going to try harder and Carson Wentz is going to have it this week. He doesn't have it. It's just it, okay? It's done. And I've been saying this since last year, actually, but we can go with week 1, but we need change. Philadelphia is demanding change. And Doug Peterson isn't giving it to us. Carson Wentz has the most interceptions in the NFL by far. He actually has almost the same amount of touchdowns as he has interceptions. He's had 16 touchdowns and 15 interceptions with 46 sacks. Sure, the sacks are not all his fault, but I do think he holds onto the ball too long in the pocket. That does also have to reflect on the fact that our offensive line is atrocious right now. And until Doug Peterson decides to try something else, if you don't believe in Jalen Hurts, that's fine. I don't care, but we need change. The spread opened with the Packers as a 6.5-point favorite. Now the Packers are an 8-point favorite, probably because Vegas watched Wentz bomb last week's game. I'm also still a little pissed just at the fact that we could have drafted DK Metcalf. Insult to injury when we were playing the Seahawks and seeing DK Metcalf just annihilate us, and he could have been on our team. I think the Green Bay Packers can cover this. I just hope that Wentz proves me wrong, but I just can't side with them right now. Nope, I'm too pissed. I'm a pissed off Eagles fan, so take Green Bay Packers, and they're gonna cover. The 1-10 Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna be traveling to Minnesota to take on the 5-6 Vikings. Now, the Vikings need this win, and the Jaguars are completely out of the playoffs. I mean, 1-10, they're playing to lose. Although I still feel like they're going to try to win this game, even though it means absolutely nothing to them. I still think that the Jaguars are going to be fighting. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because we need to talk about the spread. Obviously, for me, it's going to be the Vikings. I think that the Vikings are going to just barely cover this, but I think they're going to cover it. So spread them. 4-7 Lions are going to be traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Now, the Bears are 5-6, and Trubisky is back, and they did not get that win last week. Now, I do think that Trubisky is going to have to be playing very hard because your job is on the line. So this is your time to shine. They're home. It's a division rivalry. And the last time these two played each other, the game was very close, but the Bears did end up with the win. The Lions defense is actually ranked the 28th out of 32 teams in the league, and the Bears offense is ranked 31st. Terrible for the Bears. Bad. Considering the fact that their record is 5-6 and better than my Philadelphia Eagles, and yet still we somehow have a better offense with a quarterback that's throwing more interceptions out of anyone in the entire league. So confusing to me. But the Bears have lost 5 games in a row, and I think that with Trubisky needing this, it's home. I know it's a division rivalry, so I'm a little scared to say this, but I'm going to make this one of my picks of the week, and I'm going to say the Bears win, and they're going to cover 3 points. Spread them. The 9-2 New Orleans Saints are leading the NFC South, and they're going to be going up against the 4-7 Falcons. Falcons are hot right now. You know, they just came off of an epic win against the Raiders. None of us saw that coming. The Raiders just looked awful. But we do need to talk about a couple of very important injuries. Dante Fowler, Todd Gurley, and Julio Jones are all questionable for Sunday. And Julio Jones' hamstring and Todd Gurley's knee have been bothering them. That is a problem. Those two are key elements to this Falcons team. Key notable Saints players that are going to be out are Montgomery and Jenkins, and they are out officially. Still just feel like Saints team is going to pull out another win, especially since the Saints just played this Falcon team 2 weeks ago with Taysom Hill. That was actually a starting game. And when this game first happened, I actually took the Falcons that week. I thought for sure the Falcons were going to cover, and they didn't. In fact, the Saints actually crushed them. It was 24-9. But I think history is going to repeat itself, and I think the Saints are going to get the win on the road here. Point spread is actually only 3, favoring the Saints, and the Saints for the win, and I think they're going to cover 3 points, so spread them. Oof, another large spread we have this week are the Seattle Seahawks that are an 11-point favorite over the New York Giants. Now, the reason why this is such a huge spread is because the New York Giants are going to be without Daniel Jones. I am not a huge Daniel Jones fan, not against him. I just don't know that he is exactly what this team is looking for post-Manning. Now, I do think that this is a huge loss. 11 is a little high, so I'm going to say the Seahawks are going to win. I just don't think they're going to cover 11 points, so yeah, Giants plus 11. The 2-8-1 Burrowless Bengals are going to be traveling to Miami to take on 7-4 Dolphins. We don't know who's going to be starting quarterback. It's either going to be Tua or it's going to be Fitzmagic. Seems like Tua's agent gave a little bit of a hint on Twitter. He actually originally tweeted, flying to Miami to watch Tua play the Bengals. Shortly after he changed the Tua to the Dolphins. Still leads us to think either A, this is an epically smart play with us, and maybe confuse the Bengals a little bit on who's going to be the starting quarterback, but I don't think that he had those intentions. I think it's an honest slip-up. Tua's probably going to be starting this game. And either way, I still also liked Fitzmagic. Last year when these two played each other, the Dolphins won by 3. I actually remember this game vividly because I was there. So I interviewed a couple of Bengals fans on the sidelines. I'm actually all-time one of my favorite clips ever. These fans flew and paid a ton of money to go and watch their team lose.
While this game is going on, let's ask some Bengals fans that I see over here. What's up, guys?
Yay.
Win, or do you want to lose as Bengals fans?
Lose. We're here to ensure we lose.
They are here to watch their team lose. That is a first.
We want Joe Burrow.
So whether it's the new star for the Dolphins, Tua, or it's going to be Fitzmagic, I think that the Dolphins are in very good hands either way. And the spread is 10 points favoring the Dolphins, and I think barely, but it's going to be a cover, so spread them. The Los Angeles Rams are going to be hosting the Arizona Cardinals, and I love this matchup. It's another division rivalry. We just have so many this week. Love division rivalries. Something that we need to talk about is the fact that Sean McVay has never lost to the Cardinals. That being said, I'm going to be a crazy person, and I'm going to take the Cardinals. The Cardinals are given 3 points here, and I think that this game is going to be so close that I actually just like the fact that they're given 3 points, and they still have a chance that they could possibly win this. I feel like they're really strong. Like I said all along, they're sneaky good. And then finally, the one time I take the Rams, they lost. So super annoying, and I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to put my faith in Kyler Murray, and I'm going to say that the Cardinals are going to pull out the win here, and either way, you get 3 points. We've got the AFC South division rivalry of the Indianapolis Colts that are going to be traveling to the Houston Texans. Colts may be 7-4, and the Houston Texans may be 4-7, but do not write this Texan team off just yet. Rivers is coming off of a pretty tough loss last week. which I called. But I don't know that he's going to lose back-to-back here, especially since Rivers is 3-2 against the Texans. Watson's 2-3 against Indy, and Will Fuller and Bradley Robbie are suspended due to using a medicine that had performance-enhancing drugs inside it, which we did not know about, but they are suspended for 6 games. Both of these players took to Instagram and apologized for their actions and quoted that they did not know that that was in the medicine that they were given at the time. This is a massive loss. Huge, 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 huge. Fuller, just last week alone, he had 6 catches and 2 touchdowns. Rivers is not 100% due to his toe injury. He has to play. I mean, there's a chance that he may not, and if he doesn't, oh my gosh, pull out and go straight to the Texans here. But if Rivers plays, they have this, for sure. I see the Colts winning and covering by 3. And speaking of LA, we also have the LA Chargers that are going to be hosting the New England Patriots. Now, I love this matchup. We have Justin Herbert going up against Cam Newton. I must be absolutely crazy here to take the Chargers because Bill Belichick actually does very well against these rookie quarterbacks, not to mention the fact that the Chargers have not beaten the Patriots since 2008. So, what crazy person would take the Chargers over the Patriots? Ooh. That's right, I am that crazy person. Just have a gut feeling that this is Herbert's game. You know, he's gotten so close every week and been gypped, and I just think this is his time to shine, and I'm gonna say Chargers are gonna pull out the win here. I'm not very confident about that though, so do not put a lot of money on this. Is just my gut feeling here, so. For Sunday Night Football, we have the Kansas City Chiefs that are going to be hosting the Denver Broncos. The last time that the Chiefs played the Denver Broncos, they beat them by a lot. The good news for the Denver Broncos is you get all your quarterbacks back. You guys were very good sports last week because the NFL did not allow you to have any quarterbacks playing, and just maybe it was going to be an underdog situation, but I mean, we all knew, and most of us did not take the Broncos when we saw that happening. So I was able to win that one. I hope you guys did too, and you got that spread in when it was a little bit lower, but whew, that was rough. This Chiefs team is just unstoppable. I know that the Steelers have a better record, but I think the Chiefs are still slightly better. And I think they've had a harder schedule, and I think this Chiefs team is going to win by just 14 points. So the spread is 13.5, and I think they're just barely going to cover. But I'm going to say that the Chiefs are going to win, and they're going to cover, so spread them. All right, now that concludes Sunday. Now let's talk about Monday night. First matchup, we have the Washington football team that are going to be traveling to the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are 11-0, which is unheard of. In fact, this is the first time in history. And even though last week was a rough win, it was still a win. And that is what Roethlisberger said. He'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. With 7 points favoring the Steelers, the Washington football team did amazing on Thanksgiving. I feel really happy that this guy is able to get a second chance to play and show us what he has. And I think this Washington football team is actually going to do really well. I think they're going to end up winning the NFC East, which is no prize, but I still think they're going to take the division here. Now, are they going to win against the Steelers at home? Some could say the Steelers are due for a loss, but no, I think that the Steelers should have this. Now, the only thing we need to talk about is that Ben Roethlisberger may not start. If Roethlisberger doesn't start, I'm going to take the Washington football team for the points here, especially because their kicker, Boswell, is also questionable. So with your quarterback and your kicker both possibly being out, that just frightens me right now with this point spread. This is going to be a game time decision, guys. I would say if Roethlisberger does start, take the Steelers, are going to cover. Now, if Roethlisberger doesn't start and the kicker is out, I'm going to say it. Go for Washington. I still have to give you a pick. So hard when you don't know who's going to play up until the last second, but I'm going to say Steelers are going to win and they're going to cover. Spread them. For Monday Night Football, this is another pick of the week because I truly believe that the Bills should 100% be the favorite here. San Francisco 49ers did pretty well last week. Even though they got back Mozart and a lot of other key players, still think this Bills team is obviously going to win. So my pick of the week, Bills, and it's an upset of the week, so you get a point. Normally this would be the part of the segment where I would be done, but because of COVID, we now have a Tuesday night game. I'm all right with that. I could have football every day and be a happy, happy girl. Dallas Cowboys are going to be traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Lamar Jackson being back, Ingram, and some of the other guys that were on the COVID reserve list, it's a no-brainer to me. This Ravens team is so much stronger than the Cowboys are, and Dalton's hot, he's cold, I can't keep up, so yeah, no. Definitely. Ravens for the win, and they're going to cover 7.5 points. Spread them. And guys, that's my predictions for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And cheers. Happy football.